I'm going to show you how to work with some negative exponents inside of some problems. They're going to be like your homework questions. If you have any number x raised to exponent that is negative, you rewrite that as 1 over x to the positive m. I'll put a link up in the corner here for a video that explains why this works. A lot of people need to understand why this works in order to remember it. I will also link this at the end. This first problem, we have 3 times x to the negative 8 times p to the 0. Now that video where I explain why negative exponents work the way they do, I also go over why anything to the 0 power equals 1. So this problem rewrites as 3x to the negative 8th times 1. So you can kind of ignore the 1. Now we know we're going to flip that negative exponent into a fraction. So I'm going to rewrite 3 as a fraction as well. 3 over 1 times 1 over x to the 8th. Make sure you drop that negative off that exponent when it goes to the denominator. Multiplying straight across, we get 3 over x to the 8th power. For this one, you have 3 terms multiplied together. 2 of them have negative exponents. So we're going to rewrite 8 to the negative 2 as 1 over 8 squared. We're going to rewrite x cubed as x cubed over 1. And we're going to rewrite r to the negative 5 as 1 over r to the positive 5. Now to multiply fractions, you multiply numerators. 1 times x cubed times 1 is x cubed. And you multiply denominators. 8 squared is 64 times 1 times r to the 5th power. And that's your final answer. Alrighty, this one looks fun, huh? 3 to the negative 2 divided by 4 to the negative 3. We're going to write this as a division problem because that's what it is. And we have 1 over 3 squared divided by 1 over 4 cubed. 1 over 3 squared is 1/9. Now when you are dividing fractions, you leave the first one alone, change it to multiplication, and flip the second one over. 4 cubed is 64. We're going to rewrite this as 64 over 1. Multiplying straight across, we get 64 over 9. If you need a quick review on fraction operations, I made a video for people who are in upper level courses who have forgotten how to work with some fractions. I'll put the link up in the corner right now. We did that one with numbers just to get ready to do this one with variables. We're going to do this one the same way. X to the negative 2 divided by y to the negative 3. We're going to rewrite that as 1 over x squared divided by 1 over y cubed. Use skip, flip, multiply. Rewrite this as 1 over x squared times y cubed over 1. Multiplying straight across, we get y cubed over x squared. This one's a little tricky in the sense that the negative 2 on the x is only on the x, it's not on the 5. Same thing is true down below. The negative 4 exponent is on the y, it is not on the 9. If the negative 2 is supposed to be on the entire term 5x, the 5x would have to be in parentheses. But since it's not, the 5 comes over as a number and the 9 comes over as a number, just as is, no changes. X to the negative 2 becomes 1 over x squared. Y to the negative 4 becomes 1 over y to the 4th. Multiplying that top numerator out, that becomes 5 over 1 times 1 over x squared. That's going to be 5 over x squared, and that's being divided by 9 over y to the 4th. Since that's a division problem with fractions, we have to rewrite that as a multiplication problem, and we get 5 over x squared times y to the 4th over 9. Multiplying straight across, 5y to the 4th over 9x squared.
Go!
All right, so let's turn up the complication a notch. Start by rewriting that numerator. The 3 is fine all by itself. K to the negative 3 is going to be written as 1 over k cubed, and mn to the 3rd power is okay all by itself, so we can just rewrite that. P to the negative 8 becomes 1 over p to the 8. I need to combine all those numerator things. So 3 is going to become 3 over 1 multiplied times 1 over k to the 3rd times mn to the 3rd over 1. And while I'm here, I might as well do the whole flip and multiply thing with the bottom. Let's multiply that times p to the 8th over 1. Now let's multiply all the numerators together and all the denominators together, and we end up with 3 mn to the 3rd p to the 8th all over k to the 3rd. So I have a couple things here for you. To review negative exponents, click into that video, and if you would like to move on and look at some other videos in this playlist, click into that as well. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.